What's going on, everyone? Thank you guys for checking the video out this evening, or I know it's pretty late right now, so many of you may not check it out till tomorrow sometime. But at any rate, my name is Rich Chisholm, and this is the Smash Mouth and Smoke Show. And as always, I truly appreciate you taking little bit of time out of your day to watch the videos, to like the videos, and I'm very, very appreciative to everyone who has subscribed to membership here. We continue to move deeper into the NFL offseason. We edge a little closer to the beginning of the new league year. I believe today marked the beginning of the franchise tag designations, the window where teams can put the franchise tag on players that they like to hold on to, be it have them play under that tag for the whole season, or be it they just protect that player from free agency long enough to negotiate a new deal with that player exclusively. And so today is the beginning of that, and we will see what happens. We've already seen some interesting moves today from a player standpoint, namely with the Miami Dolphins. They have released not only Tyreek Hill, but also Bradley Chubb. Chubb was a little surprising. Yes, he is a large cap hit, but he was also a fairly productive player. Not anywhere like leading the league in sacks, but I mean, I think he was around 8 or 9 sacks for the season. So certainly not insignificant either. But at any rate, the Miami Dolphins are apparently tearing the house down and doing some rebuilding, and we'll see where that goes. Meantime, we're just days away from the beginning of the NFL scouting combine, and this is where a large number of the players that will be entering the NFL draft will be doing things like running drills and workouts, as well as getting measurables, their physical traits, and also their medical condition and medical history and things of that nature vetted out as teams begin to stack their draft boards. As is customary will come in this time of year, however, we know we have to deal with the rumors and the smoke screens, and they have already begun in earnest. Obviously, specifically surrounding the Pittsburgh Steelers, it's going to be all about the quarterback position, because that is the big position where there are so many questions about not only what the Steelers' short-term plans are going to be, but what the long-term plans are going to be. Now, I'm on record right here on this channel as being very clear that I would be really, really surprised if Aaron Rodgers doesn't run it back in Pittsburgh for 2026. Not that excited about it, but depending on what Pittsburgh does in addition to that, it certainly has the potential to become exciting. Pardon me. And in particular, one of the rumors that have popped out today, one of several rumors I should say, involved the Philadelphia Eagles. There's a rumor going around that the Steelers may consider pulling off a trade with the Philadelphia Eagles for backup quarterback Tanner McKee. Heaven Hill, of course. A little bit watered down. I've been kind of nursing it. But at any rate, Tanner McKee. And, come on, man. You want to piss off Steeler Nation? Let that be your big quarterback move of the offseason. We're going to bring back Aaron Rodgers and we're going to trade for Tanner McKee. Yeah, that's a little flat. And there's more dynamics in this than you might think, and I'll get to that in a moment. But I believe that will fall a little flat in the face of Steeler Nation. It would surprise me if the Steelers attempt such a thing as that. So I'm going to scratch that one off the list as doubtful. The other rumor going around is perhaps Pittsburgh orchestrates a trade with the San Francisco 49ers for backup quarterback Mac Jones. Now, I will tell you, I like that one better. Um, Obviously, it's still a risk, but in the time Mac Jones had to be forced into starting due to Brock Purdy's injury, he has played well in San Francisco this past year, and he does have first round pedigree, and he's still young. So all those things come together to suggest that perhaps Mac Jones lining up behind Aaron Rodgers as Pittsburgh's quarterback in waiting, should Aaron Rodgers come back this offseason, uh, is not the worst thing that could happen. And who knows? Maybe Aaron doesn't come back. Perfectly fine with going into next season with Mac Jones as the starter and seeing how that unfolds. So I will put that one under doubtful, but wouldn't be upset with it. The other rumor floating around the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback scene involves Malik Willis, the free agent backup quarterback out of Green Bay. Now, I'm not mad at that one either. Does come with some questions. The good out of that particular situation is the fact that Malik Willis is a free agent, right? So, outside of some money, it's not going to cost the Steelers much. And even when it comes to money, it's not going to break. He's not like going to break the bank in free agency as a quarterback, right? So, the Steelers should be able to sign that guy to a modest contract, maybe 2-year kind of prove-it deal, and then see what happens. My concern about it, though, is looking at the quarterbacks that Mike McCarthy has been involved with over the years. Malik Willis doesn't really seem like that style guy. But, people can evolve. Who knows? And again, that could be a good thing, irregardless of Aaron Rodgers' decision. Should Malik Willis be willing to be an understudy? Although he's been an understudy, he's probably looking for an opportunity to start. And given that he'll probably be on a modest short-term contract, I would have to imagine he wouldn't be excited to be coming to play behind anybody on any kind of proven deal. I'm going to follow that one under doubtful, but again, wouldn't be mad at it. So that's probably almost the cream of the crop of quarterbacks available. I mean, listen, you got Tua Tagovailoa, but I don't think that's exciting anybody. You have the also aging Kirk Cousins situation that's up in the air in Atlanta, and I don't think that's exciting anybody. And so, it's going to be an interesting thing to watch how these next few weeks unfold for Pittsburgh because, of course, the NFL draft is in Pittsburgh. And the Pittsburgh Steelers are expected to have somewhere around approximately 12 draft picks by the time the compensatory picks and everything are all awarded. It's expected for them to be sitting at about 12 draft picks. And so that gives them a lot of draft capital in the upcoming draft, which is, of course, in their home NFL city of Pittsburgh. That leads me to believe that the owner, Mr. Armoni, is going to want to make a splash for the fans, right? He's going to be there. The draft's going to be on the grounds of the stadium. It's going to be a huge throng of Steeler fans there, rooting for a great offseason. It's going to be Omar Khan and Mr. Weidl's time to shine, and so there's going to be a lot of scrutiny on the player acquisition moves that Pittsburgh make, not only this offseason but particularly on draft day. That said, man, I have to believe that Mr. Rooney is going to want to do something exciting and make a splash for the fans. I think it's the wrong reason to do things, but the temptation is going to be pretty high. And This isn't the old Rooney's, man. This isn't the old patient, let's build the team the right way Rooney's and things like that. I met an article by a man named Mark Madden, who is a writer for the Pittsburgh Tribune Review this morning. And I got to tell you, this guy is one of the most negative writers I've ever read. I mean, he never has anything good to say. It's very rare that this guy says anything good. Hard to be mad at him because he doesn't. You know, it's not like he's been wrong of late when it comes to things about the Steelers, and sometimes the truth hurts. So, you know, I'm not besmirching the guy or anything, but talk about a guy who can suck the outer room with an article of negativity. He's your guy. His name is Mark Madden, and he writes a opinion column, I guess, in the Pittsburgh Tribune Review. And this morning, he posited that the Pittsburgh Steelers would spend their first round pick, the 21st overall pick in the draft, on quarterback Ty Simpson out of Alabama. Now, him saying that didn't surprise me. Obviously, I wouldn't necessarily be surprised if the Steelers did that. I mean, look what happened in 2022 with this exact same pick, the 21st overall pick. They went and they took Kenny Pickett in a draft where I feel fairly confident to say I doubt anyone else in the league had a first round grade on that guy. And so likewise, here we are sitting in this draft class where it was originally thought the quarterback class would be richer than it is, but it is not. Now, I would stop short of saying it's as bad as it was in 2022, but after Mendoza goes to the Raiders number 1 overall, it's going to be a free-for-all. It's hard to predict what's going to happen. I don't think there are any other quarterbacks that even have a first-round grade on them, including Ty Simpson. Of course, the thing is, Ty Simpson probably has a second-round grade by many teams, and since the Steelers picked so low at 21, the thinking could be they pull the trigger in the first round at 21 in fear that he won't be there when they get around to their 21st pick in the second round. What I found interesting, though, with Mark's article is he seemed to kind of support it, and that surprised me. You know, this guy doesn't speak real kindly of some of the younger quarterbacks, and particularly if there's any question marks about him. But coming away from that article, you know, some of the knocks on Ty Simpson is his height. I think he's about 6 foot, and you know, they like quarterbacks to be taller. You know, they like quarterbacks in that 6'3" and up range, and so you know, he's just might be a little short, and so you know, obviously there's been short quarterbacks with great success in the league, but that's just one of the knocks on the guy. But according to Madden's article, the guy has all the physical tools. He can make all the throws. And in addition to that, Madden is of the opinion that the guy generally makes good decisions in the pocket. I haven't watched a whole lot of Alabama football. I am aware of Ty Simpson. I do know that he has had a generally pretty good college career. Well, I should say season, because I think this was his first year as a starter. And so, look, after thinking about what I read from Mark's article and just kind of mulling it over the course of the day, I think I kind of agree with his position. And that is this. I don't think Ty Simpson is an ideal first round pick. Certainly, the Steelers can go for something that may be a more sure thing as bad as they need a number one receiver. And me personally, if I was in charge of the situation, knowing how unlikely it'll be that I find my franchise guy in this draft class, I may just focus on building the team out around everywhere else in the hopes that I can then get back and find my guy in next year's draft. And with the draft capital that the Steelers have, perhaps they can even maneuver in some trading here and there to get themselves in a little bit better position in next year's draft, irregardless of what their final record ends up being, in the hopes of being able to get their guy. But that said, that's just the route I would take. I would probably get the best receiver sitting there, and then work on building the rest of the unit out around the roster, and not even be trying to chase quarterback in this draft this year. But that said, I would understand the Ty Simpson pick, and I don't regard it as bad as the Kenny Pickett pick. So I would understand why, partially because it's in Pittsburgh. The owner would love nothing more than to trot the future quarterback across that stage in that situation. And it might be hard for that to not occur. I'm going to take that rumor, and I think I'm going to put that in very likely. Very likely. I think it is very likely that if he is there, the Pittsburgh Steelers pick Ty Simpson with the 21st pick in this draft as they try to address their quarterback situation and want to make an impact and make the fans feel great on draft day in that city. And I think the fans would probably eat that up, even though it's a crapshoot with Ty Simpson. But if they took Ty Simpson at 21 and Aaron Rodgers came back for another year, that might be a best case scenario. Because I do believe Ty Simpson can become an NFL quarterback. And having a year to sit behind Aaron Rodgers, especially this version of Aaron Rodgers, who seems to be, at least based on all accounts from last season, much more team friendly, much more team guy than he had previously been talked about. If he gets that Aaron Rodgers, the one that's willing to be a teacher and things of that nature, as he has his final year in his career, and they draft a Ty Simpson at 21 and bring that kid along under the final year of Aaron Rodgers to prepare him to be the starter of the Steelers for the 27 season, you know what? They could do worse than that. So, while I will go on record and just say, if it was me, I would personally focus on building the rest of the roster out as much as I can in this draft and not get to worrying about quarterback. I will acknowledge that I wouldn't be overly upset if they took Ty Simpson in the first round, with the caveat, and I can't believe I'm saying this, that Aaron Rodgers does come back to give the kid some tutorship for a year before throwing him into the starting lineup, or maybe he gets thrown into the starting lineup before the year's over with. Should Aaron get injured or somehow suddenly fall all the way off the cliff. So, at any rate, I guess we'll see what happens. That's my 2 cents right there on the rumor mill churning about with the Steelers quarterback situation and what they may or may not do in free agency in the draft. And other than that, man, we'll see how it goes. I'm sure you guys, teams, whoever you're rooting for, there's a lot of things going around about them. Anything you like to bring up or speak on, please don't hesitate to put in the comments, and I'll guarantee I'll respond. So other than that, that's it. That's really all I wanted to kind of touch on tonight. And hey, look, couple days, we got the scouting combine. That's step 1. And so sometime by the end of the week, As the scouting combine starts to come together and the workouts begin to happen, we'll certainly sit down, put up a video, and talk about some of the things we're seeing going on at the scouting combine. All right. All right, folks. Well, thank you for hanging out with me for a few minutes. I appreciate you checking the video out, giving me likes, and subscribing to the channel. Please share the link out to anyone. And thanks a lot. And catch up with you guys again soon. All right. All right. Y'all take care. Have a good evening.